better.
Yeah, man.
I can't even do this. Seven videos to Madiera, and we're at a bit of sports park. Once more, my favourite spot, my goal setting spot in the restaurant here, and really just need to get this video in quite sharpish before my food comes, before I just completely lose all mental focus and energy. So, competition update from this morning, rehabilitation update as well, and psychological updates. So we're now exactly 1 month to Madiera, so obviously a bit behind with the videos. And I was out in the track this morning at 11:10 because there was a discus and a pole vault and shot open meeting, and it was a couple of other events as well. But yeah, just a small open graded meeting. I didn't do the pole vault. I've still got both knees strapped up now, which I'll go into a bit later. But yeah, I was basically coming out to personal best in both of those, ideally one of them, maybe even both. So unfortunately didn't manage to in either. It was a good event, the sun was shining, low wind, not too hot, close to my house, and yeah, had a good 5 throws in the discus and 4 throws in the shot, so that always helps as well. But I wasn't quite there, so I threw 22.09 in the discus, so that's yeah, just under a metre off my personal best, and then I threw 9.26 in the shot, so again, half a metre off my personal best there as well. So yeah, there was a real opportunity. I've been doing some more discus recently, I've been doing some more shot, stuff's been coming together. Definitely was hoping for a PB in one of them. But yeah, I was up to 2 AM last night just overthinking and stress about the work situation. I've been dealing with a lot of that over the last 24 hours, and so that's clearly affected things. And yeah, I just didn't feel as powerful. Really, when you're rested up and it's not in the middle of a decathlon, you're already depleted. I should be really at my most powerful here, and this is exactly the sort of meeting I should be setting personal best. Thanks very much, that looks great. So yeah, I'm always getting these salads and stuff. I'm always doing these videos while I'm waiting my food. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but there's positives on both sides of the field. In the discus, that is the longest I've thrown with the full turn, so I've thrown 23 metres 49, but from a standing start, and now I've started to do the full turn because I know if I can start to piece that together, I can go even further. But that's been a bit of a rebuild. I'm now out to within a metre of where I was with the turn, but the turn's got a lot more progress potential. I think the standing throw is a bit more limited. So yeah, yeah, some technical things weren't going well with the grip, and eventually started to get that, pulled it together in the final throw. But by that point, I was just through like the same. So you can tell my brain's going here. So yeah, enjoyed the discus, and then the shot again. It was trying it with the strapped hand, which was helpful. Again, didn't do any standing throws, just all with the glide. Really try to nail down that process of self-correction within the competition, being able to feel it in my bones and my muscles where it went wrong. And the second throw I did, I kind of popped up and then tried to get back down to then shoot, but you should really be gliding across, staying low, and then rocketing up. And I managed to correct that for the third and fourth throws. Yeah, they were all about 9 metres or just over, and that's the furthest I've thrown since April, and it's definitely further than I threw in the decathlon that I did in June. So again, really good consistency here. I'm clearly on on track to improve that mark from July. There's scope to improve still, and again with discus, yeah, I think with a little bit of work, I could actually improve my mark as well there. So yeah, so that's the competition update. Didn't do any pole vault. Rehab update. So I was in the pool there. I was doing some 1 minute kind of sprints through the water. Really quite taxing on the body. I was doing some kind of basic drills in the water as well. Really low impacts, but really high heart rate. Essentially just striding through the water, arms underneath the surface. There's no kind of doggy paddles over the surface, it's all underneath, and basically just try to create as much resistance as possible and get as much of a training effect as possible. So that's one of the reasons I'm just really wiped just now. So it's good to be back in the pool and just trusting that that's doing stuff. I'm just going to have to see when I get back on the track how much of that transfers over. And I've also got these new knee straps as well, where they kind of lift the patella, and I had them on for both competitions there, and I found that they helped, and I'm going to be using them a bit more just out and about, just wearing them. I'm going to go and ice my knees just now as well, just because I've been doing a bit of stuff. But yeah, I think they're only going to help 10%, but every percent's going to help here to stop these knees flaring up. And also, I need to really use all the adjuncts in this Eastern Combined Events meeting in order to just know what adjuncts work, to know which things are actually going to help and which are not. So that's important. Other rehab stuff. I've not been taping them again. I've just tried to let the knees breathe and not been training. I've got a bit of space tomorrow. I'm not sure if I might come down and try and do some hurdles or something on the track in the evening. I might just rest up and leave that for a start of next week. Psychological update, obviously things are just really difficult at the moment. Major kind of transition work, and just leaving one job without a lot of resolution there, which is difficult. It's one thing if you kind of, there's things that don't go so well, but then by the end it all comes good. I've had a couple of situations been like that, and things have come good. And it's not always within your power to achieve that. So one of the things I've decided to do is to work with a psychologist over the next 6 weeks. That's something that's on offer through work, and in some ways it seems a bit futile to, from the work perspective, to be me doing more and more processing of that, because it's not actually going to help the external circumstance. There's still things that are outstanding that aren't in any way solved by that, because I don't have much influence there. But I can certainly have an impact on how much that's impacting me and the rest of my life and the rest of my performance and things. So hopefully an update on that next week as well, if I've managed to nail that down. But I have worked with a psychologist before, and definitely underestimated it in the past, so I'm duty bound to acknowledge the real potential there as well. So that's us a bit more up to speed with with what's going on. Just a lot more foam rolling, doing my rehab, and just try to eat well and sleep well. The sleeping might just have to come when it comes, but especially with the eating, if you're not sleeping well, then you're obviously much more likely to grab a bar of chocolate than you are to actually cook something nutritious. And that's one of the few things that's really within my power. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself. As long as I'm eating well 80% of the time, I'm definitely going to have a nice cheat meal tomorrow night with some nachos, some loaded nachos, in front of the American football, and just have some things to look forward to. But really importantly, stay on the horse and make sure that I'm as lean as possible for Madiera, so that when it hits the final track session, the 1500 metres, I'm feeling light and springy and ready to go, and I'm already going to be heavy enough from all the other stuff that's in my legs, but as well as hopefully not carrying all this adipose tissue as well. So hopefully some more updates soon, and hopefully by a couple of weeks to Madiera, we'll be more back on track with these videos. I think the trick is just to not try and upload them in the hospital accommodation, because the Wi-Fi there is just really bad, and the whole thing slows down and grinds to a halt, and then you find out later it's never uploaded. So peace out. I'm going to get this Caesar salad down me, and talk soon.